CinemaCon 2025. Now we have some awesome news that came out of that con, and I wanted to talk about it. We're gonna be talking about the Beatles, Spider-Man, horror films, and a couple of other really fun little movie news. So without further ado, let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Glad you could tune in. So CinemaCon, if you're unfamiliar with CinemaCon, it's an amazing thing. So CinemaCon is an annual event that brings together everyone from the film industry to showcase what's coming down the pipeline. And usually a lot of big things come out of this, much like Comic-Con and other festivals on the same nature. But with this one specifically, we got some really cool news, and without further ado, let's just dive into it. So news broke a while ago that a Beatles biopic was happening. Now, we didn't know who was playing who, we saw rumors, but we didn't know. Now that we have news as to how this is happening, it's something that I didn't expect. So the way that they're doing it is they're not just doing one biopic on the four members, they're doing 4 different films based on each member of the group. But what actor is playing what Beatle? Here you go. Harris Dickinson is playing John Lennon, Paul Mescal is playing Paul McCartney, Barry Keoghan is playing Ringo Starr, and Joseph Quinn is playing George Harrison. Now, it's interesting to me that they are breaking this up into 4 separate films, but it is a really neat way to tell their story, because each member of the Beatles is very interesting, so I think it lends for a really unique way to do a biopic. So essentially, it's almost like the MCU, but for the Beatles. But I'm really excited for this film. They have assembled a really talented cast, and it should be a fun few flicks. Next, we're gonna move on to Spider-Man, because Spider-Man, there are two different things to talk about, starting with Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. So we've been waiting a while now to hear any just sort of news coming out of the Spider-Man camp in the live action realm. And with Spider-Man 4 in pre-production, we finally got a title. Now the new film is called Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's a fresh start, a brand new story for Peter Parker. With rumors coming down that there's gonna be a female-led villain, Black Cat might be showing up, and a slew of other really cool Spider-Man villains. But with this specific film, the live-action Spider-Man with Tom Holland, this is the only news that really came out of the con. But it's news nonetheless, and it's one thing to look forward to. Next, continuing with the Spider-Man trend, we're talking about Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. So first of all, the release date, June 4th, 2027. And not just that, but during the con, they talked about a new animation style that they're bringing to this conclusion of the best Spider-Man stories on film, in my opinion, to date. They showed some footage featuring the Prowler, Mary Jane, and Miles just kind of hanging out, and just a slew of really cool looking art style that's going to make this film seem similar but different in a really positive way. Now, this film originally had a release date of March 29th, 2024, but things happened, things got pushed back. But we have a solid release date now with the film in production. I can't wait for this. It's such a good film, and the art style it's something that we haven't seen before, and I'm excited to see how this thing concludes. Now let's move on to the horror genre. Now we're getting a new I Know What You Did Last Summer. It is the same kind of realm as Scream, that kind of teen slasher horror film. If you've seen it, you know, and it's a fun time. Now Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. will be back to reprise their role they were in the original film. And if you're a fan of horror, and if you're a fan of this type of horror, the slasher teen kind of horror, this is up your alley. Now there's more news that came out of CinemaCon, but these are just some of the ones that are really just exciting for me to talk about, and clearly I'm excited. I can't form words. Now CinemaCon, there are 2 more days within this specific con, and as more news comes out, I'll deliver it to you guys here on YouTube and all my other social media platforms. But thanks to the support here on YouTube, and if you haven't followed me on social media, head over to TikTok and Instagram. I'm there under the same thing, Nerdistic. I would greatly appreciate it. But guys, are you excited for these films? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, guys, I will see you later.